What's good YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul and welcome to another video. Today we'll be making a Metro Boomin type beat. This video will pretty much take you from song idea to conception to just working out the chords to melodies to arrangement. So it's going to take you through the whole process and how you sort of choose how you want your song to sound. Today's video we will be using a MIDI chord pack from Unison Audio. It's essentially a chord pack with loads and loads and loads of chords, and chords is extremely important to any record, to any track. It gives you the vibe, it gives you the feeling. Is it a sad song? Is it a happy song? Is it a spooky song? Chords usually dictate that, and without chords you're not going to get that feeling in your track. So Unison Audio is going to help you out with that. It's pretty much going to give you just all the chords you would essentially need. You just pick and choose what song key you want to work in, and then you just go from there. So as I mentioned, we are going to make a Metro Boomin type beat, but usually you got to start off with the song key that you want to work in. We're going to go ahead and just open up tuneback.com. We're going to type in Metro Boomin and then pick a song from there, and that will tell you the BPM of the track, and it'll tell you the song key as well. So if you do have a song in mind that you want to recreate that vibe, that feeling, this is the best way to do it. All right, so here we are on tuneback.com. I'm going to go ahead and type in this case, the artist, producer, but you can type in a song that you want to make, and then it'll tell you the song key and the tempo that it's at. So if you want to make, for example, a track like Low Tech or Ransom, you could just come here and it'll tell you the song key, so you'll know what notes to play within that track, and it'll tell you the BPM as well. But let's go ahead and type in Metro Boomin. And we're going to go ahead and choose a song here. So we're going to go ahead and choose Space Cadet. We're going to kind of build a song off of that type of vibe. The key is in F minor and it's 109 beats per minute. So let's go ahead and head on back to Logic and just work with that key and tempo. All right, so now we are back in Logic. I'm going to go ahead and change my tempo to 109 beats per minute like we saw in TuneBat. And then we're going to open up our Unison MIDI chord pack right over here. And we're going to go into the F minor folder. So the A flat major F minor folder. Let's go ahead and double click that. Now within that, you get a bunch of different chords within different categories. So you got your triads, your extended chords, progressions. But if you want to learn more about that, if you do download the pack, I'll place a link in the description box below this video. It does teach you all about chords and what it's all about. It teaches you about triads, the different scale types, and what is what, major, minor keys. It'll just take you through everything you need to know with relation to chord types and chords. So don't worry about that. You can learn all about that if you did want to. But in this video, we're just going to go ahead and go to progressions, because I'm just going to take a progression that's already been made. We're going to go to a diatonic triads. We're going to go to minor progressions because we're in the F minor scale. And we're going to go ahead and let's just drag one in and see what it sounds like. We're trying to get the vibe of that Space Cadet record. So it gives you chords to start off your record with. And like I said, chords is the foundation to any song. All right, let's take, I'm going to do like a basic trap chord progression. I'm going to go take this minor progression 5 right over here. Let's go ahead and drag that in. So I'm going to go ahead and just chop it up on the ones. And we're going to flip this chord to our own progression. A lot of trap music is in a 1-5-1-4 chord progression. So over here, you see that the chords are 5-4-1-1. So I'm going to take the chord 1. And then I'm going to take chord 5, which is the first one. Then I'm going to go back to 1. And then I'm going to take the 4 chord, which is right over here. So now we just took that progression from the Unison Audio pack, and we get a chord progression turned into our own to more of like a trap chord progression. 1, 5, 1, 4. So I guess we can start making the beat right now and just build off of that chord progression. I'm just going to go ahead and join all this up. All right, the next thing that we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and just reset this channel strip, and because it's a Metro Boomin beat, we're gonna go ahead and bring in an organ sound, and let's go ahead and just see how that sounds. So off the bat here, I want to make these chords a little bit more stabbier, so let's go ahead and select them all, and I'm just going to shrink these down to that. I'm going to open up our vintage B3 organ, and we're just going to go ahead and just make this sound a little bit more unique to us. All right, so that sounds a little bit cooler. We're going to change our motion or rotation to fast. We got a cool organ sound there. Let's go ahead and close that up. We're going to go ahead and open up an EQ, and we're going to take out some of the lows because we're going to have some 808s in this track. Get a little bit tighter. And we'll take off some of the top end as well, make it a little bit darker sounding. And pull that back a little bit. And let's just go ahead and add in some delay here. We're going to go to Logic's delay, and we're going to go to tape delay. Put the dry up to 100%, and we're going to pull down our wet value. Actually, we'll leave it at 30%. Sounds good. All right, so we're going to build off of that on our track. So let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and bring in another preset over here. We're going to go to part of my channel strip setting pack here, preset pack. We're going to go to the Metro Boomin bells or Metro bells that I have. And let's copy this down here, and we're just going to take the root note of the track, which is an F. Take that one note, and we're just going to hit it at the top here, at the beginning of each 2 bars. Just to get those Metro bells in there. Just going to pitch those up. All right, so that sounds good like that. Next, let's go and create a new software instrument track. And let's start on working on our melody for this here. So we're going to go ahead and I'm thinking we bring in like a guitar sound here. I had a preset, the Pink Sweats Honesty electric guitar. Let's go ahead and copy down this MIDI pattern here. And we're going to use this as our pattern. Let's just pitch that up one. Has like a dark sort of mysterious sound, if you will. And we're going to turn our chords into like an arpeggiated pattern that Metro Boomin does to offset its chords. So we're going to start off with our F right over here. So let's make this a quick plug. And we're just going to go up by using those chord notes. And then we're going to go ahead and take these notes here. We're going to bring them back. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're just going to make them all shorter. And we're just going to push them out. Just like that. Take these chords. We're going to pull it back. Do the same thing. And do the same thing with these chords as well. Now we made those chords into an arpeggiated pattern. Actually, let's go ahead and make these chords quicker actually, so it's not like that. Let's just push these back. And we get something like that. So I am just going to make these a little bit quicker as well sounding. Whoa. Let's just loop this over here and see how it sounds. Maybe we'll switch up this melody here. So I'm going to move this up. Maybe I'll switch this one over here. We'll move this one like that. So that we go down and then we go back up again. Alright, so that melody sounds good like that. Next is going to create a new software instrument track. And now we're going to bring in that little touch that Metro put in to Space Cadet. So we're going to go ahead and bring in another channel preset here. Let's go ahead and it's called Lil Uzi Vert's Erase Your Social Lead. We're going to go ahead and copy down this main chord pattern once again, solo that out. And we're going to use these chords right over here to do like a little pluck sound at the end. Let's just do that, delete that, make these short. So we're going to take that one out. So it's going to go something like this. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Let's just pitch this higher, play it with the beat. Alright, let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And let's go ahead and just layer up this chord pattern right over here. And for this sound, let's go ahead and bring in another preset. It's going to be called the Ray Swarmered Look Alive synth, and it sounds like this. And that's going to be layered up with this organ sound. Let's just open up our EQ and just cut out a lot of the top end. I just wanted to add a tone to it, not overpower it. Maybe I'll pull a little bit more bass out. Just adds a lot more power. Alright, so that sounds good like that. Next, let's go ahead and take this synth pad that we just created. I'm going to control click on it and bounce in place. Just going to go ahead and do that. And what that did was we just bounced that to an audio file. We're going to double click that and we're going to reverse this. And it's going to give us that chord stabs in a reverse sound. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to chop it up on the ones or where the chords are. And then I got to reflip it back to the way it was. So this is, because it's reversed, the 1 is over here, the 2 is over here, the 3, and the 4. Now if we layer it up with this, it kind of goes like down and then up, and you get some movement in your sound. I'm just going to go ahead and just open up an EQ here, and I'm going to cut out a lot of the top end here so that we don't get that click. Let's go ahead and just solo this out. And we're going to filter out some of the low ends as well. Make it like a narrow sound. Just gives us a movement. Without it, it's very stagnant. This gives us some movement and some bounce. All right, so we're getting there. All that started off with just that main progression over here. So we got our chords, we got our melody, we got some stabs, we got a layered chord, and we got a reverse chords over here. Let's just create another instance of this over here. I'm going to drag this down, and we're just going to create like a sustained note that a lot of track producers use in their music, and it creates tension in the track itself. And for this, we're just going to sustain the root note of the track, which is F, right over here. Let's just pitch that up. It's in the background, but subtle. All right, so that sounds good like that. Maybe now let's go ahead and start arranging this track as we go, and we get something like this for our intro piece. Maybe we'll take out these. Oops, I need it still, so let's push that over. We'll take that out. And then we're gonna go into our next section, which is this over here. Let's copy this over. Let's copy this over. And let's copy over this. Maybe for this sound, we'll make it just a longer sustained note. Like that. Do that over here as well. Alright, so that's a nice build up. Let's move on to our next section over here. We'll bring in this hit over here. So we'll break up our section. So actually, let's go ahead and duplicate this Metro bells over here. I'm just going to bring this up here. For this, we're going to go ahead and just maybe drag out the chords. We're going to open up the EQ, and I don't really want that sound to be so prevalent. Let's try actually pushing this up an octave or two. That's a good sound there. But I'm still going to cut out a lot of the top end, or a lot more. It's going to be really, really subtle here. And really dark. Cut out some of the low end. Just really want to focus on that mid-range. Alright. Let's push this over here. Let's bring in our reverse stuff here. All right, let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And let's bring in Logic's EXS24 sampler instrument. And because I knew I was going to do a Metro Boomin beat, here's a Metro Boomin drum kit. Let's make it nice and loud. And let's draw in our clap. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the 3s here. Maybe we'll add in some reverb. I'll lower the clap a little bit here. All right, next is going to duplicate this track, and let's go ahead and draw in our hi-hats. All right, let's go ahead and draw that in right now. I'm going to start off with our brush tool, and we're going to start off with an 8th note repeat. Let's go ahead and just draw that in. So this sample is actually pitched a little bit to the left. Let's push it a little bit more to the right. So we're gonna start off with the stutter over here, as Metro Boomin likes to do. Let's do like a 30-second note stutter. Maybe I'll do like a 64th note stutter. Do another one over here. Let's do another one over here. We'll do a sort of a double tab over here. And then on the end over here, we're just going to go ahead and put in 4 notes like that. And we can actually just duplicate that like this. All right, so that sounds good like that. But what I am thinking is maybe we should just push this clap and hat over. Let's just do this, one of these. And we get something like this. And then we'll get into our big drums over here. So let's go ahead and duplicate this over. Let's duplicate this over. We're not going to copy that over. Let's copy over our reversed stuff. These notes, maybe I'll go ahead and switch it up and make them shorter. Like that. So they're not dragging out. Let's go ahead and duplicate this track over here. Let's take out the reverb. And let's go ahead and just layer up our clap sound. And once again, we're just going to go, actually, we just do this here. Let's copy this down. That right there. Let's go ahead and put some reverb on that. All right, go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And let's go bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And we're going to bring in Logic's, the preset 808 that we've put together in a previous tutorial. And we're going to go ahead and draw in an 808 pattern here. It's a little loud. Go down to a nice low octave. And let's go ahead and just drag that out. Go down here. We'll come back up. And let's go ahead and just do like a quick stutter here. Just make this 808 sound more like a Metro Boomin 808. We're gonna turn down the analog here. Let's turn up the drive quite a bit. I'm gonna put up the attack a little bit. I'm gonna bring down the sustain. And bring down the release as well. Just a little bit. Maybe I'll pull up the decay a little bit. All right, next what we're going to do here is just bring in an EQ. And we're going to filter out some of the top end. Push back this. well. We don't need that rumble. Nice and clean. And let's go ahead and bring in a distortion unit just to distort this 808 a little bit more. We're going to use overdrive. Pull down the drive to 1. Just lower the sound a bit here. Just gives it some more crunch. This is what we get. Nice clean 808. Alright, next let's go ahead and duplicate this track over here. And or this drum kit at least. And we're going to go ahead and draw in a kick pattern. Let's go ahead and draw that in. There it is right there. Make it nice and loud. So I don't really want to layer up the 808s. I want to just offset the two. So let's go ahead and just push this back here. Just like a quick hit over here like that. Alright, so there's our kick pattern. Give us that bounce. Next, I'm going to go duplicate this track and we're going to bring in one percussion element here. All right, so let's see what we're going to do here. Let's go ahead and just bring in a delay here just to kind of give this some more dimension. We'll go use Logic's Echo this time. Bring back the feedback. And I'll bring in some verb as well. Off to the right a little bit. Bring that down a little bit. All right, so that sounds good like that. That's pretty much all the pieces to maybe this puzzle that we're going to put together. Now let's just continue to arrange. All right, so we're back. I arranged the track for us. Here it is right here. It's pretty much all the same sounds I used, just some drops in and out. Also, I'd like to point out, I also, at the end, I just put a group of tracks together, like our Metro bells, our organ, the pad layer to the organ, and our guitar. And I pretty much just grouped it into a summing track and put halftime on it. And it sounds something like this, just in case you guys are wondering what that is. We're ending the track with it being a little bit slowed down, if you will. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Listen to the song that we just put together. You can call it whatever you want. You can let me know in the comments below, but it's a Metro Boomin type beat. Let's go. All right, so there is that Metro Boomin beat right over there. It was built off of just 4 chords using the Unison Audio MIDI chord pack. And just as you can see, chords are pretty much the foundation to any track. It gives you the feeling, gives you the vibe. And minor progression 5 is what built this entire song. I will place a link in the description box below this video to Unison's chord pack. And there'll also be a 60% discount code in case you want to get it. A lot of good chords that can get you started, like this one right over here. Also, I'll place the entire playback of this session right over here in the description box below this video as well, in case you wanted to kind of play around with the loops and drum kits that you heard in this tutorial. That's it for me, guys. Thank you to Unison Audio for helping out the channel and sponsoring out this video. As usual, guys, if you did like this video, remember thumbs up, share it, and of course hit that subscribe button for more good videos like this one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Later. Peace.